Hey my lovelies, it's your girl Tasha Renee, and I am back with another story time video. Okay, so if you guys haven't, go ahead and please subscribe, like, share, thumbs this video up, leave me a comment, tell a friend, tell another friend, tell an uncle, mother, sister, cousin, brother. I don't care, just share. Come on over here and join the tribe and join the family. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this story time. Okay, so it's late and I have to go to work tomorrow. But I wanted to get this story time out while it's fresh on my brain, okay? So this is going to be part 2 of when I was dating, of how I met Sloth. I think that's what I named it. Yeah, I think I named it How I Met Sloth. Okay, so I can't remember exactly where I left off at. So, but I know I told you guys that she had ended up moving in. After being a nice person that I am, you know, I offered her a place to stay, which was a bad idea after a week of knowing her. I offered her a place to stay, but I told her, I'm like at the last of your list. Like I'm at the last of the last of the last of the list. Like when you have nobody else and then you try somebody else and then you try somebody else, then that's me underneath there. That's when you can ask me. And like I said, she had already been to my apartment previously, so she already knew where I stayed. So that should have been a red flag that, you know what I'm saying, she was going to eventually want to move in, but I didn't think it was going to be within a week or something like that. Whatever. So yeah, so she ended up coming to my apartment, like I said, with all her things. Like she was like, oh, my friend dropped me off. Like, no, she didn't knock on the door or nothing like that. It was just like, when she knocked on the door, all her shit was already at the front of my door. It was already on the front patio part of my front door. So it wasn't like I had to go downstairs and, you know, help get her stuff out the car and nothing like that. It was already there. So she ended up moving in or whatever like that. We didn't really have a conversation about like who was going to pay what or what was going to pay what, because it was so abrupt that I didn't even think that she was going to even move in, to be honest with you guys, but she ended up doing it. So, but she was only supposed to stay there for like 3 months. So she stayed there for 3 months, and the entire 3 months she was just like, oh, I can, you know, contribute with nothing like that. I could just buy groceries. But she really didn't want to buy groceries. All this bitch really wanted to do was buy weed. Like she was spending $200, $300 on freaking weed to last her until her next pay period. So it was just becoming too much. I already had my own issues, and I didn't want to be another supporter of your habit and my habit too. So whatever, she ended up moving. Like after 3 months, she ended up, come on airplane. After 3 months, she ended up moving into her own place, okay? So I'm thinking that, you know, yay, first of all, she ended up moving into her own place. So she's out of my place. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Woo, I say this, that, and the third. And living lovely. Like I ain't had to pay no rent with her. I mean, I ain't had to help her pay nothing. Even though I wasn't gonna help her pay nothing, I ain't had to do none of that. But throughout the beginning of the relationship, like she used to always ask me like to co-sign for her to get a car, and I'd be like, no, like I ain't even co-sign for myself to get a car. My sister got me this car. I'm not gonna co-sign for you to get a car. And like she'll get upset about that, but it wasn't like to the extreme. We'd be like, oh, okay, like you don't want to co-sign me a car, okay, cool. So she found her apartment. She moved into her apartment. You know, she fixed it up. She had furniture and all this stuff or whatever like that. I guess she had it in storage. I really don't know where she got this furniture from, because when she lived with me, the bitch was broke the entire 3 months. She couldn't do shit. She couldn't do shit. But then she moved in over there, but then it was all the way on the south side of Houston. No, I stayed all the way on the north side of Houston. Even though she worked on the south side of Houston, you know, it was all the way over there. But she would constantly want me to come over to her house because she worked night shift. So she would want me to come over to her house so I could take her to work, sit up there to work with her, and then get up and go back to work to my job. And that was like a no. But I did that on a weekend. So I guess, you know, I don't know. I was just stupid. I was just stupid. And the bad part about it is the sex wasn't even that good. When I tell y'all, I was just like at the bottom of the barrel, depressed and sad. Like, now that I think about it, a lot of my 20s, I was sad and depressed. Like after the age of 22, a lot of my 20s, I was very sad and depressed. And I was just doing some stupid shit just to numb that part of my life. But I guess looking back now that I'm like sober and got my head all right, like I really was doing some dumbass shit. Like, you know, like I really didn't like her. I really didn't find her attractive. I really did not like the way I know this sounds bad, but I didn't like the way she looked. She probably didn't even like me like that. Like, I didn't like the way she carried herself. Her sex was fucking horrible. Like, I feel like the only thing that I liked about her is like she was a good person to have a conversation with. Like, anything else, I really didn't like anything about her, to be honest with you guys. So she ended up moving into her apartment, and it was just like, it was weird because it was like certain times she didn't want me to come over, certain times she did want me to come over, and it was just like, it was just weird. So it came upon a time, like after she was living in her apartment for like probably like almost a month, she was just like, we keep going back and forth. I just might as well just stay over there at your house for a little while, and just that way, we don't have to be coming back and forth, back and forth. You work on north side, I work on south side, so I'll just come over to your house, and I'll just catch like a Lyft or Uber to work or whatever like that. And I was like, okay, cool, but it should have dawned on me that was a motherfucking lie. So she ended up coming back to my house or whatever like that and never leaving. And she was lying to me saying that, she didn't really want to be at home. Like, she just enjoyed being around me all the time. So she's just going to pay her rent and just keep her lights off at her place and basically just move back in with me. If she could stay with me and, she'll just pay my light bill over here and she'll just pay rent over there. That was the thing. But after the second time my lights getting cut off for insufficient fund, I realized that this hoe was not paying the light bill. So I got to the point to where I was just like, okay, look, you need to just go ahead and just, go back to your apartment sometime. Like, you paying rent over there, just get your lights turned back on, just go back to your apartment. Come to find out, it wasn't the fact that she just wanted to be around me. So one day I'm going through her phone and I'm seeing that she's still texting her ex-girlfriend. She telling this hoe that she don't even like me like that she don't find me attractive, that the only reason why she with me is because she using me for my car, that I'm dumb, that she really don't like me, and that as soon as she get on her feet, that she gonna dump me, and you know what I'm saying? Like, she just basically using me because she got a roof over her head and food in the refrigerator or whatever like that, and she basically can drive my car anywhere. That's what she was telling her ex. So I saw this and I confronted her about it, and she was just like, oh, that's a lie. I didn't say that, blah, 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 blah. But get it, like I told y'all, I wasn't all in my head. So like a dummy, even though the proof was in the pudding, like a dummy, I believed her, even though I'm just like, bitch, you just read the text message saying this hoe saying that she don't really like you and she don't really fuck with you like that. Like, you just read the text message. It came from her phone. Like, who else sent it? Casper? So we end up squashing it or whatever like that. So blah, 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 woo, woo. So one day we had came over. So one day I had rode her to her house, and she didn't want me to come in her house for some reason. Like, first of all, we in my car. So we had drove over to her house, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm just like, damn, this bitch take forever. So I ended up going upstairs to her apartment. So I opened up the door. I noticed that it's baby clothes in there, baby toys in there. I noticed that, it's towels everywhere in the restroom. It's panties hanging up on the sink. Hanging up on the little shower rack or whatever like that. And I was just like, who is this? Who is this? Who living here? And she was like, oh, I'm subleasing it. I ain't tell you I'm subleasing it. And I was just like, what? And she was just like, yeah, I don't pay rent over here. So, bitch, you been staying with me for the past like 2 months, saying that you have to pay rent over here, but your lights is off and you gonna pay my light bill. You insufficient fund in my motherfucking lights. I'm having to pay for my own lights to get turned back on because you sitting here saying, oh, you mustn't have enough of your bank account and all. You give me all these excuses on why the light wasn't paid, but we come over here to your house, the lights on. You got bitches and kids clothes everywhere, whatever like that. So it just didn't sit right with me. It just did not sit right with me. So I'm just like, so I'm questioning her about it. I was just like, so, but you told me that the lights was off over here. And she was just like, yeah, I don't pay lights. I don't pay lights. The person who stay here pay lights. And I was like, okay, well, who is the person that stay here? And she was just like, she's just somebody that I know, somebody that just needed a place to stay, blah, 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 blah. But it dawned on me that her ex before me had a child, and she used to tell me how her ex was a bum, didn't work, didn't do nothing, how she always had to take care of her ex or whatever like that and her baby. But come to find out from the ex mouth that Sloth did not take care of her and the baby, because Sloth was staying with her girlfriend and the child at her girlfriend mama house. Like, they couldn't keep a place together because Sloth wasn't keeping no job, and the girl couldn't keep a job because Sloth didn't want to get up to take the baby to daycare or take the baby nowhere. Like, the girl had to constantly do everything in a relationship, and that's kind of why they fell apart, because the girl was just like, I got a child, I can't take care of you and my child. So, but yeah, so it just dawned on me that Sloth X has a child, and I was just like, bitch, and you don't know nobody. So who is this stand over here? So I'm pressuring her. So she finally admitted that it was her ex. She was saying, oh, my ex is going through something with her mama. So I told her that I don't be staying with my girlfriend, you, or whatever like that, and that she can go ahead and take the apartment off my hands or whatever like that. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm not tripping about it. I'm just like, okay. So she stayed with me a couple more months. And it's just like my light bill just kept on, my lights just kept on getting cut off. It was just like every fucking other month, my lights just keep getting cut off. And I'm just like, damn, bitch, like, what the fuck is wrong with your car? Like, can you not pay for the light bill? So I'm sitting here talking to her about the lights getting turned on or whatever like that. It was plenty of times where we had to sleep in the motherfucking dark because she could not pay the damn light bill. So whatever like that. So I finally confronted her about the light bill. Like, girl, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you pay the light bill? Like, you only got to pay the light bill and put like $150 worth of groceries. Like, why you can't pay the light bill? At the time, my rent was like $800. Like, and then I still had car note, insurance, cell phone bill, health insurance. I still had other stuff that I had to pay for. And all you had to pay for was the light bill. And the light bill at the time was like motherfucking $80, $80. And I just didn't understand why you couldn't pay that light bill. So she was just saying, so she gave me this sad story about, oh, you know, my ex, the one that's staying in my apartment, she lost her job. So I got to help her with the rent because, she got a baby. So let me get this straight. Just because your ex lost her job or whatever like that, you gonna let this hoe stay there for free while you pay the bills over there because she got a baby, and then you want to come over here and sit in my house not paying my light bills and my lights getting cut off every other month? Every other month. I was like, bitch, I don't care. Like, I don't care about her or her child. Like, no, you not finna be living with me and paying bills at a place that you ain't even staying at. And B, I'm not even staying in. You living off of me for free so her and her child can be comfortable. And she was like, man, she always used to be there for me. Like, I feel like I got to have her back. Well, then you need to go back over there and stay with her. You need to go back over there and you need to go ahead and stay with her. And that right there just pissed her off. And that's how everything started with us, like, hitting each other. Like, that's when things started becoming physical or whatever like that. And I feel like for a little while, I was letting the physical abuse from her happen. Like, I was letting her put her hands on me. But it just became to a point to where I was like self-medicating. I was just going out, doing drugs because I was coping with other things that was happening in my life. And now I'm sitting here, gotta cope with coming home to this bitch, getting on my motherfucking nerves. Like, it's been plenty of times where I should have walked away. Like, one incident I should have walked away was when I was going out with my friends. Well, I was going out with my homegirl or whatever like that. I was getting all dressed up. I even asked this ugly sloth if she wanted to go. And I guess she noticed, like, how good I was looking or whatever like that. And she used to say, oh, you don't never want to look good like that for me. You don't never look good like that for me. But I'm just like, girl, what are you talking about? Every time we go out on date nights, I'm always putting on my makeup. I'm doing my hair. I'm dressing nice. Like, that's just me. Like, when I like to go out on date nights, when I step out, I try to step out looking nice. And I've always done that. Like, I even do that with you. So what are you talking about? But you know how bitches be acting when you be going out with your friends and they not going out. They be like, oh, you be trying to look nice. You trying to look nice. You trying to look good with the day and all that in the third. And I'm just like, girl, what? I guess this hoe got upset and threw water on me after I just finished my makeup and putting on my clothes. You think I would have walked away then from this bad sex, bad built bitch. Okay, you think I would have walked away then, but I did not. That's why I tell y'all, my mind frame back then was so freaking fucked up. It was so freaking fucked up. So, boom, fast forwarded. After that happened, we ended up staying together. Of course, we fought or whatever like that. She was still texting her ex that stayed in the apartment that you know, that she was just using me, blah, 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 I'm seeing these messages. I'm checking her phone while she's asleep. I'm seeing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? She's still on dating apps, all this stuff. Like, I'm seeing all this stuff or whatever like that. So I told her that she gonna have to leave. Like, one day I just got up and I was, bitch, you gotta leave. Like, you really not contributing nothing to this household. Like, so I'm not really losing anything. So she decided that she wanted to go back over there with her ex and a little girl or whatever like that, the ex and the daughter or whatever like that. So at first I was having a problem with it, and then I was just like, Tasha, why are you having a problem with it? Why are you having a problem with her moving back over there? Like, that's her house, that's her problem. Like, you need to dump this hoe and just let it be gone. But then she'll just be like, oh, you know, I miss you, I'm sorry, I'm no. And like I said at the beginning, like, I was really vulnerable. So I feel like, even like I told y'all, like, even the devil himself, if he was showing me some attention, baby, he gonna get it. He gonna get it, and I was gonna give it to him. Okay, I was easier than a $2 hoe on a $5 Wednesday. Like, I was eager. Okay, so I was just like, you know what I'm saying? You right. You know, maybe I'm making a mistake. They always be trying to guilt trip you, make you feel like you're making a mistake. Like you really do need them, but then in reality, you really don't. You really don't. So yeah, so I had to deal with that with her that entire time. So I got okay with her staying over there with her ex. I think I ended up meeting her ex or whatever like that. And she was like, okay, but whatever. So the ex ended up like, she ended up not wanting to pay rent, not wanting to do nothing. And at this time, Sloth had moved back over there to her apartment because I was like, I just can't do it. And then I was bitching about how I could never come over there unless the girl was gone. I had to stay at her mama's house. So I guess the girl got tired of, you know, being there and not being there, being there and not being there. So she ended up moving back in with her mama or whatever like that. So yeah, so that's one incident. Second incident, I'm at home at my house or whatever like that. Sloth is over there. She bitching and complaining to me because she had asked me again. This is like after we've been together at this time for like a year. So this incident, we've been together for like a year now. So at this time, she was just bitching and complaining about how she needed a car. She tired of doing this, tired of doing that, this, and the third. So she asked me again to co-sign for her. And I told her no. And she just went berserk. I mean, she got so upset. She started yelling. She started cursing at me. She was calling me all kinds of names. And, you know what I'm saying, shit just started to get physical. They was physical before. But that day, she had called me on the right day at the wrong time. So things just started to get physical or whatever like that. I ended up picking up a little baking sheet, like one of the metal baking sheet, and slapping her across the face with it. She ended up pushing me to the door or whatever like that, and I hit my head on my front door. And then, you know, we ended up like talking about it, this, that, and the third. But I was so upset because it's like, you keep getting upset at me because I don't want to co-sign for you to get a car, bitch. When have you done anything for me? Like, my lights keep getting cut off. You never help me pay with anybody's rent. Every time you bring my car back from driving your ugly ass to work, you bring my car back on E, and then I have to wake up the next morning to go to work, thinking I'm about to just hop in my car and go to work. I have to wake up the next morning to fill my tank up or put gas in my tank. And then if I do not fill my tank up and I bring it back on E, you will literally drive my car with the gas light on, run out of gas, and I'm trying to figure out a way to come down there to put gas in my tank, or telling my sister husband to meet you so he can put gas in the tank because you 45 minutes away from my motherfucking house. That's the type of stuff that Sloth did. That is the type of stuff that Sloth did, okay? So, girl, I got sidetracked. You see what I'm saying? I got sidetracked. Just thinking about this, bro, it just pissed me off because I just be thinking about all the stuff that I went through. And I just be like, damn, Tasha, why? And I'm just going to have to blame it on the drugs. That's it. I'm just going to blame it on the drugs. So, yeah. So, back to that night. So she had asked me to co-sign for her to get a car, and I told her no. And so we got into a little fight. And so she pushed me to the door. I got upset. She went up in the bedroom or whatever like that. So I went up in the bedroom. I was screaming, cursing at her, like, because you getting mad at me because I don't want to co-sign for you to get a car. It's not my responsibility to be your mama and your daddy and your sister and your brother. Like, it was not my responsibility to do none of that stuff. Okay, so why do I have to co-sign for you to get a car? I was just like so furious that I had hit her. And when I hit her, her glasses flew, broke, blah, 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 this, that, and the third, woo-woo, I say. So she got upset, And we just started arguing. So I just went in the living room and I had sat on the couch or whatever like that, and I'm huffing and puffing. And then this bitch come up in there and sit on top of me. Like, I guess she got upset for me breaking her glasses. So she sat on top of me. Now, she was a big girl, okay? She wasn't no small girl. She was a big girl. She sat on top of me. And I kept on telling her to get off of me. She didn't want to get off of me. She sat on top of me for so long, I ended up passing out, right? I ended up passing out. When I had came to, she was sitting on the couch, smoking a cigarette, looking at me. Like, I was just like, you gotta leave, you gotta leave. But at this time, I did not know this hoe had took my wallet and my keys, right? And she had it in her basketball shorts or whatever like that. I'm still delirious because I just literally got basically choked to death. Like, she literally suffocated me until I basically probably hyperventilated and then passed out. And I woke up and then I had to see this ugly hoe sitting on my couch. So she ended up leaving or whatever like that. She ended up leaving and walking downstairs or whatever like that. So I was about to leave because I wanted to go to the store and get me something to drink on, like a little beer or something like that, so I could smoke me a cigarette and chill. So I go downstairs, my car gone. My car gone. So I go to look at my purse, my wallet gone. This bitch done took my wallet and my car keys. My wallet and my car keys. So I ended up calling the cops on her. So I called the cops on her. The cops came over there and they had talked to me, and the cops made some valid ass points like, why would you want to be with somebody who basically treat you like this? But like I said, I don't know why I was just like, I don't know. Like, he was just like, why would you want to be with somebody who physically assaults you like this, who you basically have to fight? She not really doing nothing to your life. Like, you paying all these bills by yourself. She can't do this. She can't do that. Like, I'm telling this man shit. Like, he my therapist and stuff like that. And he just basically saying it back to me like, why are you doing this? And as he's saying it back to me, I'm just like, you're right. Why? I am saying this to you. I'm really saying this to you. Like, I don't know. I guess me telling him didn't like click, but when he was telling me what I was telling him, I was just like, you're right. But you think that would stop me? I didn't. I stuck beside her. I did. But yeah, so this definitely gonna be a part 3 to this video, to this story time. Cause me and this bitch was together for like almost 3.5 years. So it's definitely gonna be a part 3 to the story time. I don't want my story times to be too long. So yeah, go ahead and come back next week for part 3. Y'all be safe, and I will see y'all next time.